The caterpillar that refuses to take a risk, that decides to play life safe, that chooses to remain in its cocoon will forever be relegated to crawling on the ground, even though it has the potential to fly. The title is Safe is Risky. The year 2012, July, I was at home. I just completed my bar exams from the Nigerian Law School, and I was just at home waiting for the result to be announced. And then I saw this TV ad, Next Movie Star, Africa TV reality show. I was excited. This was the same platform that had produced Nigerian celebrities like Tonto Dike, Tamara Etemo, Uti Nwachukwu, VJ Adams. Everything in me leaped up. You see, I'm a lawyer by training, but I've always had this uncanny attraction towards the creative arts and acting. Have you ever had that problem? Where you're on a particular career path and journey, but you find yourself drawn to something radically different. Maybe for you it's baking, or fashion, or public speaking. Mine was acting. I withdrew my last 5,000 naira, rushed to the audition venue, and paid. I aced every stage of the audition until I became one of the 16 housemates in the Next Movie Star Africa TV reality show. And then life happened. My call to bar ceremony was announced, and I had to choose between being evicted out of the show to attend the ceremony. Let me put this in perspective for you. I had the opportunity to win this show, to win the grand pride of a Hyundai iX35, to get featured in one of Nigeria's biggest TV series, Super Story. But on the other hand, I had spent 6 years of my life studying to become a lawyer. I was going to be the first, not just in my family, but in my lineage. But I had to choose. Do I play it safe or do I risk it all? You see, sometimes the turning points that will cause the biggest transformation in our lives often come down to one moment. Will you play it safe or would you risk it all? I chose to play it safe and I signed to be evicted out of the show. When I got to Abuja for the ceremony, I met the shock of my life. I didn't have to be there. I could have as well come some other time and get my certificate. I was devastated. I was crushed. Someone said that the greatest fear of a man is failure, but his greatest pain is regret. The stimulus of failure cannot be compared to the pangs of regret. And after that day, I vowed never to play life safe. I would explore every opportunity that life throws at me, because awards and accolades do not go to men and women who play life safe. Trophies and triumphs are not given to men and women who play life safe. Riches, rewards, and recognition do not go to men and women who play life safe. Statues and monuments are not erected in honor of men and women who play life safe. The history books do not remember safe people. Don't play life safe. Because the caterpillar that refuses to take a risk, that decides to play life safe, that chooses to remain in its cocoon, will forever be relegated to crawling on the ground, even though it has the potential to fly. Thank you.
First things first, I'd like us to, if you don't mind, please put your hands together again for King. I thought that was really, really beautiful. God bless you, King. I'd also like if you can put your hands together for yourselves, right? I do think that there's a ton of things that you could have been doing this beautiful day, but you decided to be here. And for every single one of us, and by one of us, I mean the leadership of the Surge, we're very grateful that we're here. And we do hope, actually, we believe very, very strongly that by the end of this event, you would have found value for your time. My name is Presley. I have the huge privilege of leading the Surge Island of this part of the expression. And really what I want to do is set a foundation for what is to come. If somebody could help me with that guy, not because I'm trying to be a pastor, but just it's going to help prop my phone. So why Jumpstart, right? Like I said, I just want to set a foundation for what all of this is about. Why is this event important? Why is it useful to block out your Saturday to be here and listen to the lineup of trailblazers that we have on our flyer? Thank you so much. God bless you, sir. Okay. So why is it important to be here and be a part of what we're doing? Of what benefit would it be to you seated in the room, right? Why is Jumpstart even something that you should attend already? And I just want to share a few realities with us this morning. Some of it you might already know, but I'll just emphasize them again. First things first, Nigeria as a country has the largest population of young people in the world, and the median age is 18. The population of Nigeria is about 222 million people as of May this year. Half of that population is under 19 years. About 70% are under 30 years. Really what all of this says is if you and I go anywhere today and you look around the room, chances are the people that you'd be looking at are people like you. Actually, let's bring it closer to home. The people that you'll be staring at are people like the ones currently in this room, right? And that should tell you something. I'm going somewhere with this. The big question that you want to ask, why am I really telling you all of these things? No, it's not for information's sake. I'm not trying to remind you of the things that you already know. This is not statistics 101. If anything, I'm just trying to help you understand that if the set of people that are most common in the day and time that we live now are the people that you're staring at currently, the people that you currently do life with, then the question would be, what is your role in rooms like that? I have a lot of questions for us this morning. First one I'm going to ask is, where do you belong? In this bracket of people that are leading, where do you belong? You know, this saying that we heard a lot of times when we were kids, leaders of tomorrow, and then after a while we were like, well, tomorrow is not coming, they scammed us. Actually, it's just understanding. They really did mean that we're the leaders of tomorrow. The difference is tomorrow didn't change. We changed, right? We wanted to remain the kids of yesterday, but we had to change and become adults. Now we are required to lead. We are the ones that are required to lead in the capacities that we currently are in. And the question this morning is, are you leading where you are? I was having a conversation with Tommy. Tommy is one of the surge leaders here at the Lekki Expression. And we're just talking about life, talking about work, talking about how over time we've gotten really, really busy with stuff. Chances are everybody in this room probably has a job that you do. You probably have a side gig and you have a passion that you want to pursue. Or maybe you have a job, but it's just really overwhelming because it takes all of your time. Look, the honest truth is, you and I, we've become the uncles and aunties and senior brothers that we used to look up to yesterday. People now look up to you for the things that we looked up to people for. Whether you realize it or not, there's a 70% population of people in Nigeria today that would call you uncle, that would call you auntie. They are looking up to you. And the question I'm asking you again is, are you leading where you are? So how do you jumpstart, really? If you've identified that you really are leading where you are and you're asking that question, today is about the gift that is in your hand, about the thing that you do diligently, whether you're a 9-to-5 or you're an entrepreneur, or you have a dream. Today really is about how you can start these things. And you don't have to be great to start. What's that popular saying? Or maybe I should get a mic stand and do it like King would. You don't have to be great to start. You only have to start to be great. Right? Maybe that way to make more sense. One of the last things I'm going to say is, a question actually. If you are a leader in the crop or buckets that you belong to, whatever industry, whatever sphere, whatever fold, are you just a leader? You see, Jumpstart is not just for regular people. I know it's very, very cliche to say, but that's not the idea. We had prayed, fasted, thought about, ideated, and the ultimate goal was that after you come, in the days, weeks, and months that would follow, something would indeed have happened to every single person that sits in this auditorium, which means that the expectation is that you grow from just being a leader of leaders to being a trailblazer. One of my final questions for us this morning is, are you a trailblazer? Talking about trailblazers in the world, it's usually very easy to go to the Martin Luther Kings, the Usain Bolts, the Barack Obamas, the Steve Harvey, if you may. I love Steve Harvey. Right? But this morning, I want to talk about a very, very unusual influencer. Very common guy, but we hardly ever go to if we think about it. His name is Joshua, or was Joshua. I think Joshua was a trailblazer. essentially because nobody knew or heard about the guy until somewhere in the Exodus. And just one verse, Joshua became the go-to guy. And by God's special grace, because of his diligence and his capacity, and of course, the prayers of Moses, Aaron, and her, it led the children of Israel. Joshua easily became the most powerful person. The reason I'm bringing on Joshua this morning is to let somebody in the room know it does not matter where you are. If you really are thinking about being great and you commit yourself to start, then a Jumpstart is available for you. Lastly, I'd like to read something from Matthew 14, 19 to 20. And this really is the manifesto of the Surge leadership to everybody in the room today. Then he ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass. This is Jesus. And he took the 5 loaves and 2 fish. And looking up towards heaven, he blessed and broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples. And the disciples gave them to the people. I'd like to read that line again. He blessed and broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples. And the disciples gave them to the people. And they all ate and were satisfied. By God's special grace, we believe very strongly that we've received a gift from heaven in putting all of this together. And we're so excited to deliver all of that to every single person in the room. And our ultimate prayer is that you indeed partake and you're filled, such that by the end of Jumpstart, you and I can indeed say that we had a great, great time in the presence of God this day. Without further ado, it's a huge privilege for me to begin to introduce our speakers. Our lineup is rich this morning. These people are folks that I've had the opportunity of interacting with in one capacity or the other in the last couple of months, years, and I'm super, super excited to even listen to them, and I believe very strongly that by the end of the event, even you would confess that you've had value for your time. Once again, I'd like to say welcome to Jumpstart. We're going to take our first speaker right now. This particular person is very dear to me, but our video is going to play. I'd like us to please put our hands together and welcome her. If it's not asking for too much, if you could stand, that would also be great. Ladies and gentlemen, the Surge, welcome to Jumpstart. Please put your hands together as we receive our first keynote, Mrs. Safia Diajumal.